In this next tutorial, we're going to reformat our code so that it uses the pre-oop method. So the first thing that we need to do is identify what variables we need sent to our function. If we look at this, each one has just two variables. We have the movie clip that's being stopped and the button that we're clicking on. I typically start with a button just because I like to know where the event is coming from first, and then knowing what it will control and what that button will do afterwards. So when I'm going to write my functions, I'm going to begin by writing the function for the first variable will be the button. Then the second variable will be the movie clip that we create. Anyway, let's go ahead and copy one of these function event listener pairs, just so we can speed our code up for when we actually have to draw it or write it. And I'm also going to select a couple lines after that code, and I'm actually going to select that code and comment it out. I like to comment it out with the block comment code. Do be aware that you want your block comments above and below the block. You don't want the code you don't want the comment at the end of a block like that, because it doesn't do quite as effective of a job. Anyway, couple lines down, I'm going to go ahead and put in my pre-oop code here. This is my pre-oop stop function. And let's begin by creating a function. Now this function is going to be stop MC. So instead of stop MC1 or MC2, I'm just going to say stop MC, because we know it will stop whichever MC we're talking about. Now in this function, I'm going to need the two variables. One is the button that's being clicked on, and the second one is the movie clip that I'm going to control. Now I'm going to go ahead and give them very generic buttons, or names. My button, my MC. Now, even though these are going to be variables, or even though I can do it like this, it is best for us to go ahead and give these strict data typing. So if we have a button, we know that that's going to be an object. And if we have a movie clip, that will also be an object. This makes sure that we can't send a string or something to them, and it will work. Then we can do our :void at the end, and then we'll start the construct of our main function. Now inside this function, we're going to paste the function and event listener pair that we had from before. So you'll see that I just pasted that in there, and so let's take a look at that. I might go ahead and auto format that just to make sure that it indents it the way that it's easiest to be able to be read. So inside here I have stop function stop MC. I'm going to go ahead and just call that myClick. So it's nice and generic. That means that if we have myClick there, we also have to have myClick as a result of the button that's being clicked. Then for the inside the main, or this sub function, myClick function, we want to have the movie clip stop. So the variable is myMC. So all we have to do is replace boxanim2 with myMC. Now it's even not a bad idea to remove the this in this case, just because we don't want to confuse ourselves, because myMC will be the actual location of it, and if it needs to include this, then we can actually include that when we initiate or instantiate the function. Anyway, the next thing that we're going to do is my button. So my button is going to be the name of the movie clip that we're using, or the whatever button that we're using in order to add the event listener. So we'll change that one so it says mybutton.addEventListener. So you'll notice that we have very generic names inside here, but we're passing the variable when we instantiate this function to the sub functions or the private functions inside this main function. So here's how we might instantiate this. First, we can just go ahead and copy that code for the button. And now we have to have the name of the button, which is the box1 animation stop, and then of course the name of the movie clip. So let's see if that works. Great. Now in order to duplicate this, all I have to do is duplicate the line and change the numbers, and I'm done. Save your work and go on.